Alright, so on this 68 W923, you guys that came to my channel from Jonathan's channel know that me and Jonathan are really good friends. And he's the one that actually found the truck for me. He texted me one day with a picture of it and said, "Hey man, you need to go look at this truck." And so I did. I went and looked at it, and when I looked at it, it was green. Because it had moss, mold, whatever, all growing all over it. And I looked at it and told the guy I'd think about it. I almost didn't go back to get it. So, but then I did go back and look at it and saw the potential of it and saw how cool it was, and ended up buying it. So, and then when I got it home, you know, it was just like, let's do what we can do to get this thing running. Well, I bought Leroy my 95 W900, and first thing I did was clean it up and paint it and polish the wheels and make it look good. But when I bought that truck, I didn't know anything about a big truck, but I knew I wanted a W900 or a Peterbilt 359, 379, and I wanted a cat motor. And when the guy that told me about the truck, when I was asking him about it, I was like, "Well, what's the guy name?" He says 3406. He said it was a B, but it's actually a C, which it's got a B pump on it, so it's basically a B, but a better bottom end. And in the time that I've run that truck, I've learned a lot about the trucks, and I did an end frame on that engine and learned a lot of stuff during that time, and had to troubleshoot and done a lot of stuff, having problems with the fuel system and that kind of thing. So I've learned a ton. Well, and then in the meantime, I worked on that 68. I put it on a newer chassis and put a B model cat in it. And it was, come to find out, I had bought this motor as a spare, like right after I bought the truck, and because it was supposedly a low mileage motor, like right at 100,000 or right over 100,000. But when I bought it, I didn't realize, one, it's 350 horse motor. It come in a Ford chassis, which runs an entirely different exhaust manifold and turbo setup and all that stuff. And so I've learned a lot. But I had put that motor in the 68, but I have since learned, you know, that motor didn't have jakes on it. So I learned a bunch of stuff to get that thing to at least 4 1/4, and to put jakes and all on. It's going to cost a ton of money. So the chassis come with an E model cat in it, which is a lot better. You get more horsepower out of that motor. And then found out about, you know, that the 6NZ is the best last non-emissions cat motor. So, and it's probably the most desirable motor for any cat person. And so that's why I picked up this Freightliner, because it had one in it. And what I've got in the truck, you about couldn't get a good core. This is a good running motor with no blow-by, and I'll do a video on it here in a while, cranking it up and letting it run and showing y'all that. But you know, in running Leroy, I have learned, you know, it's like always something, doing some kind of repair or whatever. And so I thought, you know, what better way to do this deal than, one, to build a truck like I could order a truck, and then to build it new, everything new. And that way, for the first little bit, all I got to do is regular maintenance on it. So y'all seen, if y'all watching the videos, y'all seen the engine parts I have for it. This is the head right here, and then here's the 2 Reman diffs and a Reman transmission. Now, the engine parts I got through Hack Nation in San Antonio. super nice guy, very, very knowledgeable. And then the rears I got through his son, Bennett Truck Center. And these rears and this transmission come with a 3-year warranty. So, I mean, you really can't beat that. You just can't. So, everything that I'm going to do to this truck, I'll do it, build the truck from the ground up like new, and then oil changes, keeping it greased, filters, that kind of stuff. And I shouldn't have to do any major repair work probably for as long as I'm running the truck. So there's the rear drive shaft, and this is the through shaft from the front to the rear diff. I've got it out, and I went and got the U-joints for the rear shaft. Come to find out, the through shaft has got 2 bearings and 2 races. So they didn't have but 1 bearing and 1 race. Then I got the seal and the nut and washer for that through shaft. So they've got the other bearing and race ordered for me. So that'll do our drive line. That'll be both drive axles and the rear shaft. I've got the numbers looked up for the joints for the front shaft and the center support bearings, but I don't need them yet, so I'm not going to buy them yet. I'll wait till I get a little bit closer to getting ready to get that stuff in there. So what we're going to work on is getting this stuff unloaded. We'll put the head in the shop with the rest of the engine parts. We'll get this 18-speed unloaded, and we'll get the bell housing put back on it and all that, the yoke and all. And then on these diffs, we'll get these diffs put in the housing, and get them ready to go. When the bearings come in, we'll put them on the through shaft, and we'll get the joints put in this rear shaft and get it cleaned up and ready for paint. And then whenever we pull the housings out, we'll get them cleaned up. We'll get wheel seals, wheel bearings, and all the brake parts, brake shoes, the hardware kit, slack adjusters, S-cams if needed, and then brake chambers, and get that stuff ready to go. And that way everything we know we need will be fresh. Then on the front axle we'll do the same thing. Shoes, hardware kit, brake drums. I didn't mention brake drums on the rear. Brake chambers, slack adjusters. This is a 2022 axle, so I don't know about replacing the wheel bearings and seals. They probably don't have enough miles on them to worry about that, but when we get it tore down, we'll look at it and we'll make a decision on it then. And then of course we're not worried about kingpins, because this, like I said, this axle, I don't think it's got enough miles to worry about the kingpins. So, and then we'll get it cleaned up and ready to go. We've got everything to put it up under the truck except for the U-bolts and making my lower bag mounts. And so we'll get that ready to go when we get the chassis up here. And we'll probably go get the 68 within the next week or so and get it up here so we can set these rails up, figure out the hole locations. I've already got the annual cutters for the mag drill to drill the holes out with, so we've got stuff coming together. I'm really getting excited about it. Like I said, I've had this truck for going on 3 years now, and actually I have had it 3 years. So, and it's coming together. It's evolved into something else, but it's getting better and better. So I'm really getting excited about it. So y'all stay tuned and we'll show you. It's gonna get good, guys.